Hi, I'm Tilly Hardwell, and this is my director's commentary of our final film, Watch House. So, when creating this film, it took a group of us, including myself, Harrison Porch, Jessica Stanley, Olivia Wilshire, Imogen Davies, and Eleanor Chopra. We collaborated and delegated tasks within pre-production, during production, and post-production. This showed how we can work as a team, as well as making sure that everybody contributed into making this film. Things that we delegated as well as did by ourselves were the script, the risk assessment, pre-production schedules, and the storyboards. The opening credit of our film shows the production company. We were inspired by many other thriller openings that showed their production companies, which usually showed the scene or the set of their film behind the production company. For example, in Midsummer, we chose to do the same thing to allude to a fact of mystery and suspense when filming our film. As you can see, behind the Willow Blue logo is a forest, quite a scary one, which is very good and fits within our film. We got the name Willow Blue from just collaborating and thinking together and something that would sound good to be our production company logo. When analysing thrillers through our own personal research as a group, we discovered that most thrillers included females as the main protagonists, and they usually were represented as weak and vulnerable. We didn't want this in our thriller film, so our lead female protagonist, played by Eleanor in this situation, we chose to dress her in black clothes to represent mystery as well as strength, to show that she wasn't weak, and we didn't want to portray a weak protagonist in this film. So, our opening scene was originally meant to be a phone call scene. We chose to scrap this scene due to the amount of editing that it took between us, and we decided that it didn't really fit within our thriller, as it made it kind of seem like a comedy in a way. We were originally inspired to do the phone call scene by the movie Mean Girls, to which we then decided it probably wasn't best to do. We then changed the opening scene to the book scene, which I will show you now. We then switched to this scene as we felt like it added more suspense and fit within more of thriller conventions. As you can see, we also used this scene to start our opening credits, which included the names of ourselves and some people that also helped film our film with us. We decided to ask our teacher to help us film the book scene, which included her hand, to create some more suspense, as it didn't look like anybody else's hand who was filming, to try and allude to some suspense in the film as if somebody was watching the group. As well as in this book scene, it sort of made it like you got a little peek of all the characters inside the film and their personalities around each other, which would add up more when watching the full film. We also decided to use some stock footage as well as some of our own filmed clips in the title sequence as well, to also show some more location recce within the film, just to set a scene of where our characters will be, hinting to the fact that they will be in the woods camping. One of our biggest problems throughout filming was the weather. Most of our tent scenes, besides the one of us shooting it being made outside, was were all filmed inside due to the weather, like shown here. Due to this, we had to work around silent hours within the classroom, and due to us filming in school, this was very hard. All of the tent scenes being shot inside as well meant that we had to use other resources to make it look like night inside of the tent. For example, we had blankets put over the tent just to try and create some darkness. As you can see, it didn't really work very well, but it made us, it, it did what it had to do. The resources used throughout our filming, for example, our cameras, tripods, mics, and all of the editing software, we were fortunate enough to have lended to us by the school. But this did come with fear against us breaking or dropping or any of it crashing due to the fact that we would have to pay for it. Thankfully, nothing like that happened. We did have a camera drop at one point, which I'll come to later, but thankfully it didn't break. We only spent money on one thing in the film, which was a necessity, which was the book shown here. We decided that this was a valuable aspect within our film, as we felt like it was needed in the title sequence to add some more suspense within the film. When it came to managing our group as a whole, it was fine. But, of course, as we were all friends, there wasn't a lot of professional management within it. Thankfully, we were professional when it came to the cameras actually being on, but behind it we weren't very much, because at the end of the day we are a group of friends. Luckily, we managed to work around this and stay professional, and most of our scenes were done in 1 or 2 takes. The time management techniques that we used when filming were a production schedule. This helped us massively, as it made us able to plan and rehearse what scenes we were going to be filming on certain days, so we knew what costumes to wear, what to bring, how to do our hair, how to do our makeup, for example. This made things a lot easier when it came to the day before or the week before filming, as well as when it came to editing, knowing what was filmed on what days, so we knew where to find the footage on the camera if they had not been uploaded already. Due to some absences we had, as well as footage being lost, some things did have to be refilmed, like the final scene. We had originally filmed this scene first, but we lost footage, which meant we had to refilm it and it was filmed last. But thankfully, it worked out in the end, as we felt that this scene was better. When it came to maintaining documentation, as you can see here, posters, as well as scripts that were kept off camera, I solely became responsible for these, not for any particular reason, I just happened to print them out and kept them with me, and the posters as well, which made it a lot easier as I was in charge of them and it felt like my responsibility to bring to the scenes when we were filming on shooting days. This made it a lot easier because it didn't mean that everybody had something different, they were all kept in one place. And luckily, they were kept in my locker, which meant if I happened to miss a filming day for a sickness or an absence, they were accessible to everybody. Luckily, we didn't have any of those. Whilst filming our film, we also had a lot of off takes and outtakes due to us being a group of friends, which is very normal. I will show you now our off takes and outtakes. This shows an example of how we were not really professional practice, as we are, again, as I said, a group of friends, which some things were found funny, as well as lines being forgotten and here when the camera closes. This was very terrifying to us on the day, as we thought, oh my gosh, has the camera broken? We're going to have to pay for this, because all of our equipment was provided to us by school, which we were very terrified that we'd broken all the camera equipment. Thankfully, everything was fine. We also had to do a lot of refilming on our first sessions due to absences as well as our first time really trying to discover and figuring out what we wanted to do in our film. During this scene here shown of Eleanor in the woods alone, we split into a group of me and Jess and Eleanor, Harry and Liv to help film two separate scenes that needed to be done at the same time on the same day. So me and Jess took a camera where Jess set up the tent, I helped, but obviously wasn't on film as I wasn't supposed to be in that scene of filming Jess set up the tent where Eleanor, Harry and Liv had gone off to go and film Eleanor's opening scene, which is shown at the start. As you can see, we are just a group of friends, which did lead to a lot of messing about when it came to filming. This scene here shows an accidental refilm, as we had underestimated Harry's height, as well as us messing about when it came to off breaks and reading lines between scenes, which just really shows that we are a very good group of friends. We would just like to say thank you to our teacher, Miss Weatherson, who was a major help within this film. These are some photos of art during our filming days. As you can see, due to the amount of coats being worn. It was a very cold day, but me and Liv had to brave it because we just needed to get the film done. And we had to brave the cold, which shows that we had to work around weather circumstances. The coats were put on between scenes not being shot as well, just to preserve some warmth. Overall, filming with our friends and making this film has been one of the best experiences ever. Thank you for listening.